Hey kids, this is Officer Nick from the Lynn Police Department. So today I'm going to read you guys a children's story. When I was a kid, I used to have a favorite book I liked to read whenever I was sick or stressed or anything to just get my mind off of things. I would read Green Eggs and Ham, and it helped a lot. Especially if I had a headache. If I just kept on reading Green Eggs and Ham, my mind would start to go somewhere else, and I would feel better. It was a good book, and Miss Stacy came to me and showed me this book. It's called The Gift of You, The Gift of Me, and it's a book with a lot of good poems in here, and I'd like to read it to you today. Hopefully it would do for you what Green Eggs Ham did for me when I was a kid. And it's written by Nyla J. Webster. At the end of the lane stand two trees side by side, as their branches touch and reach out wide. As each day ends, Jamil walks down the lane toward his tree friends, and he hears them murmuring, "Thank you, rain, and thank you, sun." "Thank you," they whisper in harmony, "for the ring around the moon at night, for the western sky and the northern lights." "Thank you for the air we breathe, for the wild garden and the flowered wreath, for the salty scent of the deep blue ocean, and for open spaces where flowers open." "Thank you for a place of peace, a place of dreams, and a place of sleep. Thank you for the ancient stones, for sand and sea, and a place called home." "Thank you for the color of joy and the shape of love, for the shadows at dusk, for the morning dove, who coos in hours of gray when life is sad and we've lost our way." "Thank you for life and death and life again, for the seed of hope born of each sad end." "Thank you for the smallest gifts, for a sleeping cat, for a dog running free, in toes and clothes, and a sweet memory." "And thank you for our friend Jamil." And Jamil smiled when he heard his name. He hugged the trees and walked down the lane. One day it rained very hard. Jamil tried to walk down the lane to see his tree friends, but the wind and water floated him back to his blue room. He shivered and shook and couldn't get warm. He felt lonely and forlorn. For the voices of the trees and sadness came and sat with him as he rested in bed and heard the rain. And the words of the trees then came to him, for once they had whispered, "We will be your friends, even when you feel like you have no friends. And if you can't find us because the road is dark, remember to thank yourself that you have traveled this far, along your path and in your heart." As he rested in bed, tired and cold, he looked around his blue room, and within the blue he saw many different blues dancing together in harmony. And he thought, thank you, eyes that let us see the blues of the nighttime sky. Thank you, ears that let us hear the sound of the rain upon the lane. Thank you, hands, for reaching out over sadness and over doubt toward all that is of wonder. Thank you, voice that lets me say love and peace to you today, who have walked down the lane and sat with the trees, who know the secret that makes us free, the gift of you and the gift of me. For believing, loving, feeling, seeing, the gift of earth, the miracle of being. I like that one. A little bit about the author. Nyla Webster resides in North Shore of Massachusetts. Her textbook for high school students was published in '92 and continues to be used in classrooms. An essay of hers appeared in the More Random Acts of Kindness. Her stories and poetry have been published in local periodicals and literary anthologies. In 1996, she wrote the introduction to Silhouette of a Soul, a collection of poetry. I hope you kids enjoyed this book, and if you did, I'll read another one. Just pass on the word. And I hope you kids are being good, being safe, being clean.